Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I first want to start off my speech by saying a quote from the famous king of pop himself, Michael Jackson. If you enter this world knowing you are loved and you leave the world knowing the same, then everyone that happens in between can be dealt with. So my name is Nicolene Flores, and today I'm going to speak on someone I have looked up to ever since I heard one of his most famous soul records, Billie Jean, and his name is Michael Joseph Jackson. I will speak on he was such a big face of music and a big form of inspiration in mine. Inspiration is a big lead of life itself, and he was one of mine. I will speak on who he is, how is he an inspiration to me, and how me and him can relate on things, knowing that he was a musician. I'm a musician himself. Born on August 29, 1958 in Gary, Indiana, he was born and raised with his two parents, Joe Jackson and his mother, Latina Jackson, and his four brothers, which is Jermaine, Tito, Marlon, and Jackie Jackson. They were all born and raised, and by the age of 9 or 10, his father decided to make a recording group called the Jackson 5. As soon as time passed by, Michael decided that was not his thing, so he decided to leave the group in 1972 with his famous single called Got to Be There. Growing up, he was recognized as a well-noticeable figure as an African American in the population. He reached the peak of his career in summer of '84 by winning 8 Grammy Awards, including his best-selling records called Beat It and Thriller. And his most famous, after time through success and fame, such as his most sold album with 66 million copies called Thriller, he was diagnosed with a skin condition called vitiligo. It causes skin pigment to light up and causes rich brown skin to turn into a white pale color. This caused small quirks that became famous in his character, such as wearing a white, bright glove on his right hand. His fame and his hard work of his 66 million record being sold worldwide cost him a lot of doctor appointments. The stress and overwhelming weaknesses he gained caused his doctors a lot of worries, so the doctor decided to prescribe him with a specific sleeping pill that if taken more than once, it could cause an overdose and kill you. But Michael Jackson took the exact amount, and it turns out that his body couldn't handle that. So he died on June 25th, 2009 in his house in California. His life story speaks a lot to me because apart from the hatred he got from other people, let's say his skin condition or let's say his fame, they said he was in an incubator because of how young he looked and his nose formed into different ways because of plastic surgery. They usually put stuff on him in negativity just to make it seem as if he was wrong when he was actually right. As stated as Martin Luther King Jr., if one cannot do great things, they can do small things a great way. Michael had a way of letting all his hatred and his negativity and problems push aside with positivity that he had around him, such as his fans. Through his struggles and escaping the problems he faced, he decided to have his fans and his positivity guide him. He ignores the negativity around him that tries to bring him down and lets the positive energy around him influence him to do better. This is how I guide myself on a usual basis, just by looking at the way he presented himself and he carried himself as a musician and a famous king of pop and earning the title. Along with me following his steps, his music carries me and inspires me to do better. I listen to his album almost every day, or kind of, not usually, and I usually make myself sing and try to follow his steps by following his music because I love music myself. His positivity makes me fight through any of the attempts that make His positivity makes me fight through anything that attempts to make me who I'm not. His goofiness makes me an extrovert and an outgoing fool. He inspires me that it is okay to be who I am and I shouldn't let no one take me below a level. I have explained how Michael Jackson is my inspiration and my glow to life. He was a star and a passion that I want to pursue. He has a great life story to follow, and he is my inspiration through life, and he is a great staple to music and history itself. I will leave you with this in mind, a quote from the king of pop himself, as you may know, Michael Joseph Jackson. In a world filled with despair, we must still dare to dream, and in a world filled with distress, we must still dare to believe. We should continue to be who we are, to have domes and strengths to continue through life and positivity along with